Hello guys! Welcome back to my channel. It's me again, Lakwatserong Butiki. Mula doon sa makasaysayang simbahan ng Bacolor, Pampanga, ang San Guillermo Parish Church, nakatawid na ako ngayon dito sa makasaysayan rin na simbahan ng Angeles City, Pampanga, ang Our Lady of the Most Holy Rosary Parish Church. Natanyag rin sa pangalan na Santo Rosario Church o mas kilala rin sa pangalan na Angeles Church. Samahan niyo ako dito guys! The city of Angeles is a first-class, highly urbanized city in the Central Luzon region of the Philippines. According to the 2020 census, it has a population of 462,928 people. The name Angeles is derived from the Spanish El Pueblo de los Angeles, or the town of the angels, in honor of its patron saints, Los Santos Angeles Custodios, or Holy Guardian Angels, and the name of its founder, Don Angel Pantaleon de Miranda. The Holy Rosary Parish Church, also known as Santo Rosario Church, today fondly called by locals as Pisambang Maragol, or Big Church, stands in the epicenter of the old Kulya town, now Angeles City. The church has recently been recognized by the National Commission for Culture and the Arts as a National Historical Site. The foundations of the church were first laid out on October 18, 1877 by the founding families of Angeles City, led by Don Mariano V. Henson. It was laid out by city planners in the Spanish colonial era and is now one of the most distinctive landmarks of the city today because of its historical significance relating to how it was built. The church was constructed from 1877 to 1896 by the Pulo y Servicio labor system, defined as the forced and unpaid labor of the Filipino native people for 40 days per year to all males from 16 to 65 years old by the Spanish colonial government. The first Mass was held when only half of the church was built on April 14, 1886. The second half of the church, which includes the building's distinctive dome, was finished on September 17, 1891. The twin bells were rung for the first time on February 12, 1896. The church was finally finished as it still stands today in October 1909. Its engineering and architectural skills were provided by Don Antonio de la Camara from Manila. The backyard of the church became the execution grounds from 1896 to 1898 in shooting down Filipino rebels and suspects by the Spanish forces. And it was also used by the U.S. Army as a military hospital from 1899 to 1900. The church belfry was destroyed in the 1940s as a result of World War II. It was immediately restored by the government with the help of American troops and was finished by early 1944. Today, the Holy Rosary Parish Church serves as the city's main religious center, being located at the front of the former City Hall, now known as the Museo ng Angeles. Local devotees flock to church and faithfully attend activities, especially during Holy Week. Two of the awaited activities are the Good Friday procession, where barefooted followers of the Apong Mamakalulu or the Holy Sepulchre join the procession in the city complex, and the Salubong held at the Nipo parking lot that ends with the traditional meeting of the risen Christ and Virgin Mary amidst the fireworks. In 1796, the Gobernadorcillo of San Fernando, Don Angel Pantaleon de Miranda, and his wife, Doña Rosalia de Jesus, along with some followers, stake out a new settlement, which they named Colyat because of the abundance of vines of that name in the area. The new settlers cleared the woodland and cultivated the area for rice and sugar farming. Don Angel built his first house with light materials at the northwest corner of the intersection of Sapang Balen and the road going towards the town of Purak. It was later donated to the Catholic Church, became a cemetery called Campo Santong Matua, today the site of Nepomuceno Coliseum. On May 12, 1812, the new settlers tried to make Colyat a self-governing town, but the friars resisted the move, led by Fray Jose Pometa. 10 years later, on February 11, 1822, Don Angel filed a petition for the township of Colyat to secede from San Fernando, but it was denied. This was followed by another petition within the same year, jointly signed by Don Angel, his son-in-law, Mariano Hinson, and the latter's father, Severino Hinson. He donated 35 hectares for the construction of the first Catholic church, a convent, and a primary school, while Doña Agustina Hinson de Nepomuceno, the niece of who would become the first Gobernadorcillo of Angeles in 1830, Don Ciriaco de Miranda, gave land for the new public market. Don Angel paid the complete amount required by law just for the cessation of Colyat from San Fernando. On May 7, 1899, General Emilio Aguinaldo transferred the seat of the First Philippine Republic to Angeles. It then became the site of celebrations for the first anniversary of Philippine independence, which was proclaimed a year earlier in Kawit, Cavite. Events included a parade, led by the youngest ever Filipino generals, Gregorio del Pilar and Manuel Tinio, with General Aguinaldo viewing the proceedings from the Pamintuan residence, which was the presidential palace from May to July 1899, and later was the Central Bank of the Philippines office in Central Luzon before its ownership passed to the National Historical Commission of the Philippines. Aguinaldo's sojourn was short, however, for in July of this same year he transferred his government to the province of Tarlac, following Angeles' occupation by the American forces. On August 10, 1899, U.S. forces began the attack on Angeles, confident in capturing it in a few days. However, the Filipino army defending the town refused to give in so easily and firstly fought back, and for 3 months, they battled the Americans in and around the town. It was only after the battle on November 5, 1899, that the town finally fell into American hands. The Battle of Angeles was considered to be the longest in the history of the Filipino-American War in Pampanga. This led to the establishment of an American camp in Barrio Talimondok, in what is now Lourdes Sur, located next to the railroad station in order to establish control over the central plains of Luzon. In January 1900, General Frederick D. Grant organized the first U.S. civil government in Angeles by appointing an alcalde, beginning American rule over Angeles. In 1902, the United States Army started relocating their post from Barrio Talimondok to a fertile plain in Barrio Sapang Bato, which supposedly had better grass for their horses. A year after that, U.S. President Theodore Roosevelt signed an executive order on September 1, establishing 7,700 acres of land in Sapang Bato as Fort Stutzenberg, which later would expand to 156,204 acres in 1908 to become Clark Air Base. The Americans quickly commanded Holy Rosary Parish Church and converted it into an army hospital, with the choir loft serve as a dental clinic. The convento, which now houses Holy Family Academy, was the barracks for the medical officers and enlisted men. The sacristy was the only portion where Angelinos could hear Mass. When the Americans finally vacated the church in 1904 and relocated to Fort Stutzenberg, Parish priest Reverend Vicente Lapos listed a total of $638 for portions of the church destroyed, looted church items and treasures, and arrears on rentals. Hours after the attack on Pearl Harbor, Japan attacked the Philippines, targeting the American military presence as well as the Philippine Army and taking over the civilian government. During the Japanese occupation in the country, 57,000 Filipino and American prisoners of war passed the town of Angeles. They were forced to join the Bataan Death March going to Camp O'Donnell in Capas, Tarlac. Angelinos showed their sympathy by handing them food, milk, boiled eggs, rice cakes, cigarettes, and water. Angelinos followed them up to the train station in Dao Railway Station in Mabalacat to give moral and spiritual support and even help the escapees. Mula naman dito sa Our Lady of the Most Holy Rosary Parish Church, dito sa Angeles City, Pampanga, tatawid na ako ngayon sa makasaysayan na simbahan dito pa rin sa Angeles City, Pampanga, ang Archdiocesan Shrine of Our Lord Jesus Christ of the Holy Sepulchre, o mas tanyag sa pangalan na Apong Mama Kalolo. Abangan niyo ko doon, guys! Bye-bye!